Okay, y'all. Welcome to this impromptu Zoom session today. So, if you are new here or you've never heard of me before, or a friend just kind of threw this your way, just let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Camille Rose Taylor. I am a peak performance mindset coach to purpose-driven entrepreneurs, CEOs, high achievers, leaders like you. And I essentially help entrepreneurs and those wanting to build massive businesses scale sustainably, master their mindset, and make sure that they do not sacrifice what matters most. And for most of my clients, for most of my members, that's their family life, their faith values, and just their personal freedom. They want to be able to have it all, right? The growing business, the strong family life, a deep faith, and not sacrifice anything. And that's a big belief of mine. I've been doing peak performance coaching for a little over a decade now. I've had the opportunity to directly work with hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I've had the opportunity to train thousands of entrepreneurs at this point in my career by God's grace. And I've learned just a little bit along the way in about 10 years of coaching. So I've had my practice since January 2016. Literally, January 1st, 2016 is the day that I launched. What you'll see behind me is called the Ultimate Life Podcast. So if you're on Instagram, feel free to follow me on there. That's kind of just the general way to get to know me. You can get on my YouTube channel and you can listen in on the podcast. But the reason that I brought you all here together today is because, as I mentioned, January 1st, 2016 is when I launched The Ultimate Life. And that really is the core of my coaching business, my practice, just being able to help all of you as high achievers master this inner world. And then now, if you do the math, right? January 2026 will be my official 10th year. And just full transparency, in the last about 18 months, I've really felt this, I guess you could say, push on the inside to revamp, do something different. Still, in line with every piece of value and content and coaching that we've created up until this point. But I really felt, and you'll hear me talk about my faith a lot. So, just rock with me if you're not necessarily a believer or, if you're not comfortable with it, please know I'm not pushing it on you. It's just who I am. But God really put it on my heart that He's about to do something new. And I was really excited for it. But to be honest, nothing came to me. And I was like, okay, God, month one. Remember, this is 18 months ago. Month one, I was like, all right, God, 30 days, give me the plan. Month two, God, it's been 60 days. You said you're going to do something new. What's that? And here we are now, 18 months later. I'm finally going to share with you something that I feel like he's really been asking me to do. So I'm excited to get to release it to you all. I appreciate you for being here live. You're getting this email. I did not put this on social media. This was just to my insider email list. But I wanted to give you all an opportunity, if you're not already a part of the community, what's going to be launching just in the next couple of days. So the official launch is going to be August 1st. But I want to give an offer to you all as longtime followers, or if you just happen to be on here by happen chance, you're going to get the gift anyway of either joining as a learner or a leader. I'll explain that in a second. At a locked in, what I call grandfathered or grandmothered rate before I go live on Friday. So just know we are going to be talking about what does it look like to invest in your learning today. But I wanted to walk you kind of through the different platforms that I'm going to be having now so that it makes the learning much easier for you and makes you grow in your consistency. Just out of curiosity, how many of y'all here would like to become more consistent in your focus? If you're live with me, type in the chat. If you're just watching the recording, you can email me and say, I watched it on the video, Coach K. Yes, I want to be more consistent. Um, yeah, consistency. I see y'all. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in. What I have learned in my very short but also significant amount of time here. So don't let my Asian looks fool you. Yeah, I'm Filipino American, so I will always look kind of like 18 years old until I hit 80, and then I just kind of turn into a little turtle. But I've experienced a lot, and I just know myself as an entrepreneur, and I've coached so many of y'all that in the end, the big magic formula, you might want to write this down if you are taking notes or just take a big mental note. The big magic formula for all of the success that I've seen people create in business, in their health, in their relationships, in their life, it boils down to one word. Can anybody guess what that is? Of all the tactics and strategies of scaling and doing this and doing that, what do you think the big magic formula is that I've seen over time, no fail, it works for the people who do this. Okay, some people here said commitment, some people here said confidence, some people here said clarity. All right, lots of C's. I like that. You'll always hear me use alliterations. You're on the right track. So write this big word. It is consistency. Consistency, meaning they show up every day, every moment. Not perfectly. Notice I didn't say perfection. I didn't even say progress, but they're just consistent with showing up, learning, doing the work, and not giving up on it. Even if it's 1% every day. In fact, that's really our biggest focus is to scale you sustainably. And so part of that is developing the mental habits, the daily routines, and then conditioning your nervous system to override those old sabotaging stories that get in the way of your own consistency. I know this really well because personally, I am by nature, I certainly can recondition myself a lot, but by nature, I'm the go big for a little bit and then I fizzle out and I get bored and then I stop, right? And I'll get excited about something and then I'll go big for a little bit and then I'll fizzle out and then I'll stop and I'll have to restart the process all over again. And that could be in different things. That could be in business, that could be in my fitness, that could be in my relationships, that could be in a hobby. But I noticed that pattern in myself over time. And sometimes that inspiration is good, but especially in career, especially in business, and certainly in a more, I'd say, practical sense, my health. When I've stretched every day for 10 minutes versus doing a 60-minute yoga session once a week and then I drop off after 4 weeks, the 10 minutes every day versus the one long session once a week for 4 weeks and then dropping off after that, the consistency, the little pieces over time, we call them the small hinges that swing big doors. That's the winner. Now, the thing I coach on often is why aren't you consistent? What gets in the way? So we talk about that, but also I've found some things that have been very helpful over the years to help leaders like you, to help entrepreneurs like you stay consistent in all things. And I would say one of the biggest pieces of consistency that helps leaders stay on their edge, meaning they always have a competitive edge, they're growing, they're learning, is number one, when they put it on their calendar. When there is something on their schedule, somebody said here commitment. I believe it was you, Patricia. So shout out to you, Patricia. Commitment. When there is a commitment on their calendar, then it becomes real. If you schedule it, now it's real. There's lots of people who have concepts in their head. So we might say they're emotionally, and they have a lot of emotional intelligence, right? But what we want here is emotional fitness. And what does fitness require? Action. You got to get out there. You got to go to the gym. You got to go to the place where you're going to work out, right? You have to physically move so that it's embodied now. So we're here to build emotional fitness, not just emotional curiosity and intellectualism. Those can be helpful. They provide insights. But what I want to see a lot of leaders do, and the way that entrepreneurs, especially like you, win, is through implementation. Consistent implementation over time needs to be on your calendar. All right, so we got step one. It's on your calendar. You've scheduled it, you've committed to it. Now, I hear a lot that, okay, Camille, I put it on my calendar. It's on my Google Calendar. It's on my Outlook calendar. It's on my Apple Calendar. I see that meeting with myself. I see that I'm supposed to watch that module. I see that I'm supposed to read that book. And what do? You don't do it, right? How many of us have done that? Like you put something on your calendar and it's like, yeah, I blocked out that time to do this, and you still didn't do it. So that's one aspect. So it's good. But then I was wondering, okay, well, what's the missing piece? And all behavioral science points to this. My own personal experience as a business owner and as a coach points to this over the past 10 years. And the second piece after calendar is community. Community, especially for entrepreneurs, because the road can often feel very lonely to build something that lasts, to build something of value, to build something that is sustainable, is you need community. It is not just oh, that's cute and all, but I can handle it by myself. Yes, there are some people who maybe they just want to be solo. They don't necessarily want to be in a group or do group activities because they find it quote unquote corny. But I tell you, even those people who quote unquote do it by themselves, they have mentors, they have coaches, they have a council of people, whether it's attorneys, CPA, business consultants, marketers. That's still community. Why? Because we are a social people. It's how we are designed. So if you can sync these two things, I have something consistent on my calendar with a community, it is a recipe for massive success. And when I say success, I don't just mean in business. I mean in your energy, in your confidence, in your joy. Because that's the thing is you can create financial success without community. You can probably create financial success without a ton of consistency, but it'll be a hard, arduous, uphill battle. I've seen people do it. It's just a tougher road. So I don't consider that success, right? Success to me is fulfilling all of these areas of your life. It doesn't mean perfection again, but it's that, hey, I'm thriving, I'm progressing, I'm happy, I'm energetic. Oh man, I hit a tough time, but I don't stay in the valley nearly as long because I've got a strong community of people. I've committed to things on my calendar. I have training that I'm doing for my mind, so I don't fall back to bad habits. I don't fall back into sabotaging patterns. But when you're just in the echo chamber of your own head, especially as a business owner, because like I said, it can get lonely, and I know this because I talk to them all day, every day, it's overwhelming sometimes. But I guarantee you, if there is a place that you can go to all the time, and now with our virtual world, there's more and more of those places. Nice, luckily at the click of a button, right? I don't always have to take a flight all the way to, I live in Pasadena, California, so you don't have to go from, the middle of Cali all the way down to Pasadena, or you don't have to go from the East Coast over here just to find community. Sometimes you could just beep on your phone, and then there it is. Now the question becomes, what kind of community, right? And so this is what I want to, and I'm just so excited for it because this is the 18 months that have been in the works. By the way, uh, 3/4 of that 18 months was just stillness and prayer. So don't think I've been slaving away over a hot stove, aka in front of my laptop, or working on stuff for all 18 months. Actually, it's been probably in the last 6 or 7 months, but a good majority of that was just sitting in the stillness, which we talk about in our coaching group and our community is power in the pause. Teaches you a lot of patience, teaches you a lot of perseverance. And really, those are what I call if there's the primary skills, these are going to be the secondary fruits that come out of having a solid practice as an entrepreneur. And I'll go deeper into that in future sessions, but just know often I say that God is not as interested in your career as much as he is interested in your character. So this is just a quick message for anybody who is feeling maybe a little discouraged or you're like, man, I'm just going through a tough time after a tough time. You're getting your muscles strengthened. Your character muscles are growing so that you can carry the weight of success. It's this idea that if success just dropped in your lap right now, you think, well, if I just had this amount of money, everything would be fine. Or if my business just grew to this level, then we'd be good. But then would you be ready for that level of customer service and scalability if your customer base went from 10 to 100 to 1,000 overnight? Or would the wheels fall off the train because you don't have the processes and systems? Right? Yeah, it sounds nice that if you just hit the lottery and then all of a sudden you have $100 million right now. Wow, that would solve a lot of problems for me. But do you have the financial savvy, the right home office? Do you have the right financial advisors, the tax strategists, all of the knowledge that it takes to handle that amount of wealth without losing it in a short period of time? And I think sometimes egoically you might say, yeah, for sure. But statistics show, right? Most lottery winners, I think it's about a third of them, excuse me, go bankrupt after just a couple of years. So it's more about the psychology than anything else. Success is 80% psychology, 20% mechanics and strategy. So, all of that said, I want to kind of take you on a journey of what you can see from me starting today. Now, in my own internal coaching community group, so I've got a couple people here online who are on it, like Kissa, I see you, girl. So these are people who coach with me every single month. Some private, some group only. So the community base. So we've been called the life-minded for years because the ultimate life is the company. And just in the past couple of months, I've been leaking to them, hey, we are creating something new. And so y'all might see it right here on my name. If you're paying attention, you can even go on the website right now. It's kind of in its beta phase, but you can check out peakmindschool.com, peakmindschool.com. So peakmindschool.com is going to be your hub for all things mindset mastery. You're going to see me launch some new courses that cover all of the different tools, coaching methods, and modalities that I've talked about over the past decade. Consider it your mobile university that you can go to at any time. And I've created three particular tiers of membership access that make it as affordable as possible for you to have the transformation and the goals that, and transformation to hit the goals that you want to hit. So let me actually share my screen just so I can show you the beta version of this. You're literally getting the first look into this site. So you're going to see it change a little bit over time, but just so y'all know my style. So I am what they call an experimenter. I'm gonna just dabble with some things and I'm gonna try it out, and you're gonna help me taste test, if you will. So you guys are kind of early adopters in the kitchen with me. So if something doesn't taste good, or if you don't like it, or you got some feedback, please, feel free to share it with me. All I ask is that you be respectful and kind, because as tough as I can be as a coach, I'm actually kind of sensitive as a creator. So if I love the feedback, all I ask is that you be loving about how you provide it, and then I'm happy to make some tweaks. But thank you for being in the early test phases of the kitchen with me, okay? So let me just show this to you. You might have it up on your phone already, but if you just go to peakmindschool.com, this is going to be where you live now. I'm going to consider y'all insiders into the school, but it's this idea of taking your business and your performance to the next level. Now, I specifically work with entrepreneurs. That's my coaching methodology. But I recognize a lot of the content that I cover, mindset in general, helps all people, right? Anyone can benefit from this, even if you don't have a business or you're like, I'm not trying to be a 7 or 8 figure entrepreneur. Camille, is this right for me? Absolutely. You're going to find content in here that have to do with habits, routines, psychology, stories, asking better questions, and you'll see a lot of those courses roll out over time. But know that the core product, and I'm going to show it to you in a second, is going to deal with entrepreneurs because they are the ones who, what I call, are looking to really live that ultimate life. They want it all: growing business, strong family life, deep in faith, and really leadership mastery of their own emotions. All right. So, just a little piece here from me. This is a part of my core philosophy is that I do believe each of you are a leader. If you are here, you are somebody who has taken lead on your life, lead on your family, lead in your business, lead in your industry. And so I say that leaders are responsible for the posture of their heart and the position of their mental focus. You need both before you act. When they align these two aspects, they become an unstoppable force for good. That's just my own personal philosophy, but also what I've seen in the science of coaching works so well is if I can get both the strategic part of you, your prefrontal cortex, the mind that wants to organize and be logical, and then the core emotional side of you, the posture of your heart. Is it posture towards fear? Is it posture towards anger? Is it posture towards scarcity? Is it posture towards unforgiveness and resentment? Or is it posture towards love and abundance and opportunity and passion and purpose? You can already kind of hear the big differences, but when that posture is aligned in the right place, your heart, and you've got the right strategies, oh, unstoppable. And by the way, also is true in the opposite. I've seen people have great strategies, so they've got the mental focus, but the posture of their heart was off. There was a lot of anger. There was a lot of resentment. There was a lot of unforgiveness. There was a lot of fill in the blank negative emotion, scarcity. And so they get to a certain level in their success, be it business, finances, marriage, etc. And then they hit a wall, a ceiling. Something stops them. So I really help you work on both. So in Peak Mind School, what are our core components here? Number one is clarity. So to me, effective entrepreneurs, effective leaders are clear on what? And I kind of wrote it down here on who you are. Identity comes first. Who you're called to serve. Once you know who you are, then who are you there to help, right? What your vision is. So in your life, you might have a particular vision of what you want it to look like, how you want your business to grow, how you want your career to take chart or path. So it's up to you, but we've got to make that vision a reality. So first we get clear on the vision, then we talk about the steps to how to make that vision a reality. And I talked a little bit about consistency over time, right? And then, of course, what values you stand on in all aspects. So once we get clear on these are the foundational pieces, now you're off to the races. But most people, if I'm keeping it real, don't even have these foundational places in, right? So then they build on shifting sand or shaky ground and then wonder, why does it feel like my profits keep slipping? Why does it feel like my success keeps slipping? Well, first we have to get clarity on all these pieces. And for each person, it's different, which is why I love coaching so much because it's so unique. I wish I could give you a formula as, hey, just do this and you're good. But what I can give you are frameworks in which to build within and around to strengthen what it is that you want to create. Because, for example, Kiss's formula might look a little bit different than my formula. Think of it again as cooking. How she makes pancakes and how I make pancakes might be a little bit different. She's got a couple extra ingredients. I take out a couple. They're both really good. They have their different flavors and style. But no, there is a framework though. Like we're both still going to use some sort of flour, some sort of egg component, some sort of milk component or water component. Maybe some type of sugar. She might use coconut sugar. I might use monk fruit sugar, whatever, right? I'm just giving you an example, but the frameworks are there. That's what we provide you. But the ingredients, how you want it to taste, the flavor, the style, that's unique to you. And that's what coaching should do. A good coach should help you pull that out of yourself, not give it to you, right? That's a consultant. They are very useful too, don't get me wrong. That's not what necessarily this space is. This is for those who want to explore, yeah, what is that God-given vision or gift that I have or multiple? And then how do I express that fully? All right, so once you get clarity, step two, what we see is that you just naturally build confidence. Because once you have massive clarity, then now we can work on that foundation and build upon it using your strengths. Also, we're going to uncover what I call cracks in the foundation. Those are the unhealthy patterns of behavior that at times, honestly, you might not even be aware of. You might have some sabotaging stories that are playing in the back of your mind. That's something that we talk about every single week because it's not a one-time thing. It's just like going to the gym. You want to go and consistently build muscles over time. Maybe the first couple of times you go to the gym, oh, it's going to feel real hard. You're going to notice your aches and pains. My left shoulder's weak. My right hip is weak. Oh, and then as we build those muscles, now we're maintaining strength, right? But over time, you do start to see, oh, those were getting in my way. So with your clarity comes your confidence. And then what I see is increased energy. And then we talked about it. The third, we keep you consistent, right? Because one of the most important aspects of your journey is the company you keep. I call it rigging your environment for success. You might know it as, hey, you start to become the top five, average of the top five people you spend the most time with. Now, the premier community that I'm going to introduce you today is what I call Leaders Club, formerly known as the Life Minded, now revamped into Leaders Club. And this is where we engage in weekly discussions with purpose-driven entrepreneurs. All of them in the crew are purpose-driven entrepreneurs. All of them have different purposes, but that is one thing that keeps them going. And they're focused on creating massive values both in their family life, their communities, and their industries. So this is not the crew for you if it's like, I just want to make money for myself. I'm good. I don't need nobody else. There's a different space for you. And I wish you all the best. We are not about that. This is those who they want to take their business and they want it to mean something to the community. They want to see their family life break a generational curse of poverty that was once there. They want to see generational wealth get built up through the businesses that they create. They want to give more than they get. Excuse me. So, for example, if you say, Camille, I want to get my business to 7 or 8 figures. Fantastic. The people that I work with will likely follow that statement up with, I want to get it to a 7, 8 figure revenue generation point so I can also be given at a 6, 7, 8 figure philanthropy point. Like I want to give $100,000 a year. I want to give $50,000 a year. I want to set up, this nonprofit. I want to be able to support these people in this country or in my city or whatever the case may be. I want to foster kids and make sure they always have a place to live. That's the people in the community. Okay. And so each week I guide you on how to stay focused because we all know we get distracted. how to be consistent, and then, of course, be aligned to your purpose. Because it's really easy to get caught up in, oh, I'm starting to do this. Here's that new shiny object. I think I want to try this. Everyone says go this direction. And as your coach, I have no problem brainstorming with you, coming up with ideas. But if you've told me, hey, Camille, I want to do this, then I will be that person that always says, okay, well, Michael, if you said this last week, is that still something that resonates with you? You still want to pursue that, or are we shifting gears now? And sometimes it's good to have that voice just to remind you, like, oh, yeah, woo, I got caught up in the shiny object again. Here we go, squirrel. Right? So we all get into that. And so that's what consistency is. And notice how we're all connected, but there will be a core piece that we come back home to. That's how you stay consistent. All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty. And before you click anything on the website, just know I have something special for you. So don't get too excited yet. But all right. So there's three membership options when it comes to Peak Mind School. So I call it choose your level of learning. And so if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow your business, I highly recommend Leaders Club, something to consider. But let's start with the first one. So I tried to make this as affordable as possible. All right. I was doing the math. Uh, pardon if you think this is a bad habit, but at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to a local coffee shop because I like my matcha green tea latte iced, right? Really good. Plus, I like supporting local businesses, so I see it as part of my budget. I'm justifying that a little bit to myself. But real talk, I live in LA, so I am spending on average about $5 to $6 for that latte, plus a $1 tip because that's just, I can't not see that tip jar and not put something. So suffice it to say, I'm spending $7. All right. So every time I go in, and I do this about 2, 3 times a week, conservatively, let's say I do it twice a week. Usually it's three, but I'm spending at least $14 a week times 4 weeks in a month, right? So what am I at now? That's my math is, I'm very slow. What is that? $56 a month, something like that, right? A month just on my, again, I'm not. I should have had Isaac here, my husband. He's so fascinating. Yes. Okay, good. I did it. Woo. I'm already spending $56 a month just on a latte. And I'm okay with it because it's a little treat for me. It's something that I get to give back to my local community. So what I'm asking you, if you love learning, $7 a month for Learners Club. And so what is that? So it's kind of my beginner tier. If you just want to be in the community of Peak Mind School, just get access to the courses, learn stuff, keep yourself consistent. What you get is you'll get a monthly mindset coaching video that I send straight to your inbox. So every single month, it's going to be a new video, anywhere from 20 minutes to sometimes 45 if I'm rambling, but it's a Learners Club only exclusive. So you will not find this on YouTube. This won't be on my podcast. This will be specifically for everybody who's in Learners Club. Why? Because you have opted in to say, yes, I want to learn. I want to stay consistent every month, and I want to work on my mindset. So I'll cover different topics, but my three framework, you'll always hear me say this, is mindset, action, environment, MAE, Mayday. So I'm always going to be covering one of those three things, something about your mindset, something about your action or your habits, and then something about rigging your environment for success. So that's Learners Club. Also, once you get to be in part of Learners Club, you get 10% off on all Peak Mind School courses. So you'll always see when new courses drop. I've already got three in the pipeline that are going to be dropping this August. So we have the Wise Goals Method, we have Ultimate Focus 101, and then we're going to talk about the Ultimate Life Framework. So you're going to see these three courses come out over the next couple of weeks, and you will always have a special discount code as a Learners Club member. Okay. The second piece is you get 25% off when I do something called Clarity Retreats. So some of you may have been on it or you've heard me talk about it, but it's called the Clarity Retreat for Entrepreneurs. And so it's a 2 day, all online, about 3 to 4 hours a day, and we do a deep dive. Think of it as going on a self retreat, but I facilitate it for you. This happens at least once every quarter, but you will now have access to that Clarity Retreat at a 25% discount as part of Learners Club. So if you just need to hit the reset button and you're like, hey, Camille's got a Clarity Retreat coming up, for 2 days, 3 hours a day in October of this year, I want to get in on that. You can get a ticket at a discounted price as a Learners Club member. Then there will also be a couple of Learners Club only exclusive trainings that I do. So kind of like how I hopped onto Zoom here with you today. Every so often, you're going to get an invite that says, hey, Camille's doing a Learners Club exclusive training in the next 30 days. Sign up, you get that for free. That is an addition to your once a month coaching video. Those exclusive trainings do not happen every month, but they may happen quarterly. That's the likely cadence that you're going to see those. Again, just another way to stay consistent. And then finally, just a little fun thing is when you sign up, you're going to get access to the website. So you're going to have a login, and I'll show you that in a second. And on the back end of your library, so in your Peak Mind School library, you're going to have a course that comes out by this weekend that has free designs that you could put on your iPhone or your Android of Mind School exclusive wallpapers. So it's my way to help you rig your digital environments for success. You will learn more about that if you have not already trained with me on that, but it's where you're going to put it on your desktop, you're going to put it on your phone. Eventually, we'll have stickers, but you can see, mindset, action, and environment. Or you can see the words power in the pause. We'll design it for you, and you'll have free access to that. So, just kind of a fun little thing as a Learners Club member that you'll have access to. So, all you want to do is if that already calls to you, you're like, I'm in, just put it on the card. Don't even want to think about it. Join today, click that, and then you'll be sent, right? What you'll notice is as you sign up, you'll get a login. So let me see if I don't want to move too quickly, but, and I see you guys are in the chat. So by the way, if you have any questions, I'll leave a little bit of time at the end. Um, cool. Love me some good matcha too. Awesome. I think Patricia said, I'm in. Okay. I don't know what you're in for, if it's Learners Club or Leaders Club, but we'll talk about it. But okay, so I'm already logged in, but let's just pretend I'm gonna log out so I can kind of show you what this is. Real quick, can you type in the chat? Can y'all see right now Peak Mind School login, Mindset Mastery for Entrepreneurs? Is that what you see? Email and password? Yes. Okay. So, hopefully I'm not revealing. Okay, good. I was like, y'all are gonna see my password. Oh, cool. What's up, Sandra? I see you. Thank you. Thank you. So you log in. See, I don't even know my own password. This is not good. I'm not a good, what do you call it? Demo person. Okay. Well, I'll have to find it. Let me see if I can do my coaching one. Yeah. Well, I'll sign in. I'll send you guys another video. But basically, what you see is on the back end, you'll see a library um, of for Peak Mind School, and that's how you're going to see all of the courses. It's really easy. It's actually a really clean platform. I use if any of you are curious, I use Kajabi. So if you're interested in learning more about Kajabi, you can email me directly, and I'm happy to go through it with you and teach you how to set everything up. But you'll see login, you'll get access to it. You're officially part of Leaders Club, and then you could sign up. Okay. So that's Learners Club. All right. Now, the one that is going to be the most popular is Leaders Club. Now, I know the price point is a lot higher, but for some of you, this is very affordable for coaching. Most people pay anywhere from 1,500 to 10,000 a month on just coaching. This is 297 a month. So I really have tried to make it as affordable as possible. However, and this is my gift to you, right? If you're watching this recording or if you're live with me right now, you are going to get an opportunity to join Leaders Club today, before Friday, though, because Friday is when this goes live. Friday is August 1st, just so y'all know, August 1st, 2025. You're going to get an opportunity to join Leaders Club at a very different rate. I have members, by the way, because I've been doing this now for 10 years. Some of them are grandmothered in at like $50, $100, $150, $175. So for like two members. So people have, and that's their locked in rate for life. So no matter how many new things we add, summits, conferences, courses, they never pay more. So even though this is the new Leaders Club price, everybody, by the way, if you're already a member, your price is not changing. Yours is already grandfathered in. If you are not yet a member and you are considering it, and you're like, hey, I really want community. I want one-to-one coaching with Camille every single week. I want to be in this community with them. I'm actually going to offer it to you at a cheaper rate than this, but it's not going to be public. So you will not see this online. In fact, you're going to get it today via email from me. Okay. But I just want to show you what it is so you have an idea, right? So Leaders Club is everything in Learners Club. So you'll get all of this stuff, except instead of a discount, you just get all the courses for free. You get access to all of the Clarity retreats for free. And I'm hosting the community on a platform called School. So some of y'all may have heard of School before. If you're new to it, check it out. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. So in our school platform, you're going to get daily Q&A access to me. It's basically like having me on your phone, texting me all the time. And you'll get personalized feedback from me every time you have a question, Monday through Friday. Okay, so it's not a bot, it's not an AI. I don't dish this off to a community manager. I will be the one, as long as you tag me in the group, I will send you a little video or some feedback in the community. The second thing, so it's like you're having coaching access to me Monday through Friday when stuff hits the fan and things go down, right? And then every Wednesday, I do a weekly live Q&A training call. My members who are here, Kissa, all of them, you guys know it, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. PST, Los Angeles time. And you get the chance to be coached live on video by me every single week. So imagine the value in that. If you've got business issues, challenges, your own personal stuff, and you're like, hey, I just need to run this by you, Coach K, takes us less than a minute to talk about it, but that way you don't stay what I call in the valley for that long. You're going to hit the valleys, but we want to come out of them pretty quickly. Community is one of the fastest ways to come out of them. Strong community is an even faster way. Purposeful community is the fastest way. And that's what this is, purposeful community. It's a purposeful conversation. It's very strategic. And I'm coming in as your coach. Yes, with the essence of a friend, but with the professional background and eye of a high performance coach, right? So then you get unlimited course access. So all the Peak Mind School courses, all the tools, all the live challenges. By the way, there is a live challenge that is exclusive only to Leaders Club members. It's called the 100 Days of Focus Challenge. By the way, for my members, I know we said we sunsetted it. We may bring it back, but now different. So just know that that's on the horizon. Um, all those challenges and trainings at no additional cost to you. That's part of your business expenses for the year. Then something called the Leaders Club Accountability System. So what that means is you can opt in to team up. We call it warrior buddies. So there's worrier friends and then there's warrior friends. You can have a warrior friend to team up with other entrepreneurs for accountability on your revenue goals, your giving goals, your creation goals, and other business building opportunities. So that is a high performance community that you want to be a part of. And it's just part of your business line budget every single year. Free access to all the clarity retreats that I do, and then VIP access to a 2-day in-person mastermind that is only for Leaders Club members. So think of it as an in-person retreat that I host here in Pasadena, California. I do it once a year. This is for Leaders Club only. Okay, so you get that. And then finally, it's a worldwide club. We have members in the United States. I have members in Canada. And then we actually might have a couple people from the Philippines joining pretty soon. So you can instantly expand your business network and meet people in real life if you want. Because on the school platform, which I won't go over too much today, I might do that in a separate video. It's pretty neat. You can see a map of where all the members are. And then if you want, click on their name and say, hey, this person's kind of within this area. It'd be great to meet up and you can message them. So something that you could do. So you could join that today. When you click join today, oh, this is the back end of my school community group. So what you do is click join today, and then you'll see this in Peak Mind School. So all my members are right now still on our old platform. We're going to move them all over, so you'll see those numbers grow. But this is where you can join on school. It is literally the easiest thing I've ever put together. It's awesome. You don't have to fuss with social media. It's a separate app. You could see it all there. You see all the interactions. It's very organized. It's very clean. It'll be your go-to coaching community every day. I can guarantee you that. You'll look forward to opening the app and seeing all of us in there. So if that speaks to you, just for a little bit of reference, why that price point is the way that it is, my typical client is making at least 100K a year. Your business is doing at least 100K in revenue a year, or you're aiming towards that. So let's just say you're doing this $297 for a year, so that's $3,500 a month. When you sign up, by the way, for Leaders Club, you have an option to join yearly, and it's cheaper. So I set up a 20% or 30% discount for you. But I'm giving you these numbers because let's just say, rounding it off, 3,500 a year. And let's say at minimum, your business is making 100K. Most of my clients are going to make more. My goal is to help you scale to at least 7 or 8 figures. So it should pay off itself pretty soon. But let's just say it's 3,500 a year. Let's look at that. What is that percentage for you? Easy math. Again, my husband would be so good at this. It's about 3.5% of your yearly budget for your business, right? So if 3% of your budget each year on a minimum of 100K, the goal is you're making more and more and more and more, right? So, and by the time you get to, let's just say we'll hit your first million, 3,500 a year, because remember, the price doesn't change just because you make more money. The goal is you are going to make more money. So by the time you hit your first million, this will be 0.3% of your budget every year to take you from 100K to a million in revenue, if that's your goal. And that's not just revenue goal. I'm talking about maybe there's a giving goal. But if that's worth it to you, like, hey, I can afford 3% a year on myself, on community, on business coaching, right? This is literally the most affordable way that I've been able to do this for folks. So if that calls to you, I would click join today for a leaders club. However, remember how I said for y'all, if you're live on the call or you're watching this recording before August 1st, you have the opportunity to join at a much discounted rate. I will email that to you. So be on the lookout from an email from me. And I'm just curious, if you already know you want to receive that email, go ahead and type in the chat, send me the email, just so I know. And I can highlight specifically you all. You could send it to me directly or you could do it in the chat, but just put send me the email so I know I can kind of specifically point you all out in the email. It doesn't get moved to spam. All right. And then the last one is CEO Club. So CEO Club gets everything in Leaders Club, everything in Learners Club, and these are just for the folks who want to do one-to-one. So let's say you're a seasoned entrepreneur, you've been a CEO for a while, you just want to have a one-to-one conversation with me on a consistent basis. So basically, you want to fast track your progress and your transformation. I would schedule a consult call. The reason is because the pricing starts at $9.97 a month, but depending on your frequency, how many times you want to talk, for how long, it's a bit of a different structure. And I do recommend this for anybody considering private coaching. Note, I have limited availability in CEO Club. So I only take a certain amount of clients for that because it's also very time consuming and I want to give them as much attention as possible. So right now I only have 2 spots left for CEO Club. That's it. So I have 2 spots for CEO Club. If that's something you're interested in, because it's like, I want community, but I also want one-to-one with you, click that button and schedule a consult call on my calendar immediately. Okay. A couple of you guys said, send me the email, send me the email. Awesome. Patricia, when is your next annual event in Pasadena happening? Not anytime soon. So the next one is likely going to happen either at the top of 2026, possibly, possibly December 2025. The December 2025 date is unlikely because it depends on venue, but for sure within the first quarter of 2026. So just something to think about. AR, thank you for that. She said, I've been in the group almost 5 years, so worth it. I appreciate you. Yeah, so AR is what we consider a platinum member. So she's been in a special club that gets private coaching. That no longer exists. So AR is kind of in a special program. But if you want to consider CEO Club, again, limited availabilities, but there's only a handful of people that I get to talk to one-to-one now. So congrats, AR and Kiss and all y'all. You just guys are in a special group. That's that early adopter So I just wanted to give that to you guys. I see you, Tina. I see you, Patricia. I see you, Michael. I see you, Robert. Okay, cool. So we'll send you guys the email. But no, those are there for you. If you're not ready for Leaders Club and you're like, I just want to be part of the Learners Club, I might consider jumping up to Leaders Club. Awesome. Then all for you. If you put it this way, I want you to see Leaders Club and know I'm in. 3% of my budget every year, 2% of my budget every year, 1% of my budget every year is a minimal cost to me. And I'm happy to keep that on my books every single year because I want that community. That's the feeling I want you to have to enroll in the Leaders Club. Not, I don't know if I think I like it. Then start with Learners Club. If you don't feel like it's enough, then jump into Leaders Club. But once you're in, you gotta want it, right? Because that's the whole point of it is that community, everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to help each other. Everybody wants coaching. You are coachable. And so if you're just like, I don't know, I think it's just going to help me get to an end game. I don't know if I'm really that coachable. Do Learners Club. Just watch the on-course video or the on-demand videos. Do your thing. Don't worry about being in the group. But again, if you're like, hey, I'm ready for some accountability. I want some community. I want a locked-in grandmothered or grandfathered rate so I never have to pay more than I need to. Do it. Okay, I see you. Sandra said, please send me the email. Okay. Oh, Spencer, I see you. Oh yeah, Spencer, I sent you a DM on Instagram, so perfect. I'll send you the email. Yeah, because you were on the clarity retreat, so I'll send it to you guys. Fantastic. All right, last piece here. Just a couple of, don't worry about that. Those are nice people. Clients of mine. I've got a couple more that we're going to be putting on there. But hey, by the way, if you are a member or a client and you want to help me out and you want to put something on there, uh, email me or text me and I can put a short write-up in your picture. So just remember there's three components. We do coaching, I provide you content, and there's access to a community. Now, one last thing, I know we're a little over time, but I wanted to drop this piece. A lot of people ask me because I'm very uh, open about it. Do you have to be a particular religion or faith affiliation to join? The answer is absolutely not. Okay, this is not coaching only for a particular faith-based type of person, or it's only for Christians, or it's only for Catholics, or it's only for Muslims, or it's only for atheists, or it's only for agnostics. Absolutely not. Anyone who is called to this work of coaching and you want to take it to the next level, you are welcome to join. Note though, I am Christian. So you will hear me talk about biblical principles of success. I am by no means pushing that on you, but just know if you're open to at least that conversation, it's a really cool thing to learn about. So just know that I am combining both applied psychology, behavioral change science, entrepreneurship best practices, and biblical principles of success. Particularly, and you're welcome to look this up, Peak Mind School is actually foundationally rooted in Romans 12:2. Remember when I started this call and I said about 18 months ago, I felt like God had put something on my heart, but I had no idea what it was. And he had me sit silent for like 6 or 7 or 8 months. And then all of a sudden on the 8th month, it like dawned on me and it was Romans 12. If you're interested, check it out, Romans 12:2. But I'll summarize it for you. Romans 12:2 has been the foundation of my work for the past decade without me even knowing it. And it's that renew your mind, transform your life. But the first part of that principle, and this is why I say there's so many beautiful success principles in this timeless piece of scripture, is that do not conform to the patterns of this world. So that's a big thing you're going to hear me talk about is just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you need to, right? I'm always going to be in your corner to ask you, what is it that is really in alignment with your values, your lifestyle design, maybe even your God-given calling, but really what is in your heart to do? Then we take best scientific practices and principles. Then we take the frameworks of business that have been tested, tried, and true over time and apply that. But we don't conform first just because we saw it on Instagram or TikTok or somebody did a really nice webinar. We don't conform first because it says there, don't conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed. To transform is to change, literally to grow and evolve, to go from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And the key core question we are always asking here is, what am I capable of? What has God put inside me that I am capable of accomplishing, of doing? And then the third piece of that, notice it says, be transformed by, and here's the key ingredient, and this is why I love this, the renewing of your mind. Even thousands of years ago, we knew you have to start here. That's why the foundation of the school is Peak Mind School. The first battleground I am helping you to armor up and fight in is your mind. You all know it. When your psychology is off, the tactics don't even matter. So this is the first place we strengthen are your mental muscles, your mind. And then, of course, community. So you'll have access to Leaders Club if that's what you choose to join. If not, Learners Club is a fabulous place to start because you'll still be part of a specific community that's dedicated to learning where you'll get different trainings and you'll also have monthly emails sent to you from me. So again, if you're ready to play at the highest levels of your God-given potential, I encourage Leaders Club. Look out for an email from me with your special lock-in rate before August 1st. And just for fun, I just wanted to put this in here. Instead of a testimonial one time, I had a client a couple of years ago. He was one of our members. His name is Ryan. He made this before ChatGPT, by the way. So before you could make AI images, he made this, and I just thought it was the funniest thing. This was his version of a testimonial, which I thought was very sweet. You know, take take what you will with that. And then if you want, take a look at the website. You can look at Peak Mind School, learn more about it. But again, if Leaders Club speaks to you, um, we're here on school. You're going to get a ton of stuff. If not, Learners Club is plenty valuable, but just know that there are levels for you. So I just want to leave you with this, whether it's Learners Club, Leaders Club, or you're ready for CEO Club, but just know I only have 2 spots. So please schedule a consult for that. Know that I'm just in your corner to help you strengthen your mind so you can accomplish what has been put in your heart to do on this planet for your family. And the most important thing is you don't do it alone. Peak Mind School is not a static place for you to just grab courses and go. It is a community of people that are like-minded, like-valued, want to create massive success together, are rooting for one another. And just know that Leaders Club is a way to get you more involved in that on a daily, weekly basis with me. Okay. So again, I just thank you for being here. You'll hear more from me if you follow me on Instagram or on YouTube, but I appreciate your time. I hope this has been informational and valuable to you. So again, before August 1st, because this Friday, August 1st, 2025, is when the new pricing drops. So if you are ready for Leaders Club and you want to lock in, look out for an email from me today. Grab your locked in grandmothered and grandfathered rate. You'll be in Leaders Club as of this week, and that's your rate for life. So I'm excited to welcome you in as an early adopter. If you're not ready now and you're like, you know what, I just want to get into Learners Clubs. I could do $7 a month. Give up my one iced matcha latte or my one coffee, or not even give it up, but just add to my 0.00% in my budget now of my business expenses. Then join Learners Club. More than valuable. But either way, put peakmindschool.com as a bookmark. You'll see more courses drop. I thank you so much for your commitment, for your loyalty to learning. And I say it all the time, but truly, we need more leaders like you. And just know that I am here to help support you in that, create community for you so that you never have to do it alone. So thank you for rocking with me for the past 10 years so far. If you have been here just for a couple of minutes or months, thank you for that too. And I'm excited to see what God's going to do for another 10, 15, 20 years, if he'll allow me to continue serving for that long. But until then, keep an eye out for an email from me and have a great day, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.